Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. Oh dear. Okay, let's see. I mean, wow. I mean, it is a little bit too late now to go live, but I'm still awake and let me test. All right, we are live. Oh my dear. I'm not really sure how, first and foremost, Happy New Year, guys. Um, Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge to you guys. And I'm so glad and so happy that 2018 is finished once and for all. We can start writing our checks, we can start writing our dates on paper. 2019, my goodness, until now I'm still stuck in 2017 because sometimes whenever I receive a check I still write 2017. It's just maybe a VJ, happy new year to you, man. I'm not sure what time it is in India now. I think it's we're like 3 hours or 2 hours advance, or perhaps 3.5 hours. Happy New Year, my friend. And wow, I'm surprised how many people are still awake. It's running to 30 a.m. here in UAE, and I'm actually going live because I am so um, I'm trying to like figure out where it is much better to go, like to record the session or just to do live instead, like speaking to you guys, because it's much more so convenient to go live. You don't need to do edits, you don't need to do any other designs or whatsoever on the blog, and it's just like pure talk, real talk that I can like share you guys. And wow, uh, we didn't do too much of fancy stuff this year. I mean, just a simple dinner, family, stayed at home, enjoyed my cigar, and yeah, just watch the from the rooftop, watch the fireworks from the rooftop. It's kind of like tradition that we just stay home during the New Year's and most probably plan something tomorrow or the day after. So, right then, happy New Year, Suraj. Happy New Year, my friend. And guys, I wanted to share you guys 5 tips or 5 ways to get inspired in photography this 2019. Oh my goodness. Guys, I know for a while that whenever there is like um when we get stuck from time to time, and being stuck, meaning is the feeling of being bored. I think the feeling of being bored is also a blessing, because this time we try to allow ourselves to um, let's not be frustrated when we get bored, especially during the lean days. The being bored is a an opportunity to do lots of stuff, to do things for ourselves, things for our knowledge. Um, Celebrations are fine, man. Just simple dinner at home. Um, if you notice yourself being bored, these are the things, the tips that I wanted to share you, how to get inspired in photography, in our love, in our the skill that we love to do, the things that we love to do in our free time, photography, or as our profession. Most of the time, we get stuck in routine that we forget how we love this profession in the first place. So, I am going to suggest to you guys five ways how to get inspired in photography. Number one, go to new places. Man, going to new places, getting inspired, it's not even just going to new places, but trying new things as well. You know, when you have when you go to new places, you see different angles. You see different perspectives. It's my first time to go to Lamere with the family last 2 nights ago. I think it was last night. We went to Lamere, and I was so disoriented because of the architecture. I mean, we are so used to the parallel lines, straight lines, vertical lines, and horizontal lines, all straight lines. Most of the time, I mean, the uneven surface would be rounded. But this place is such a unique place that my head is like, is this for real? You know, I'm like in a Hollywood setup place. And I got inspired because of the rustic and the shabby chic style of architecture in Lamere. And saying so, um, I got inspired shooting interiors, and I love shooting interiors. This is one of my specialization, interiors, and shooting interiors in such a way that is very unique. The color, the shape, and the texture is there. I mean, having yourself going to new places gives you a very different perspective, especially when we get stuck in routine. Especially when we get stuck in routine, meaning to say, if we're doing, if we're going to from home to office to home, we don't have any other um, location for a month or for a couple of months, sometimes a year, of routine, uh, makes us dull. So, to be inspired this 2019, I suggest you guys just to go walk, go for, go to new places, and try to look on the details instead of the totality. Having the totality, sometimes it overwhelms us, but cutting um, a big space, or or in life, or in other life lessons, having something big, a big chunk, can get overwhelming. So when we focus on the details, when we look at it portion by portion, bite size, it's much more easier to digest, or it's much more easier for us to observe or to appreciate. So when we go to new places, we get overwhelmed, but we get inspired if we try to lose ourselves and try to use it as a meditation, so that we can clear our minds, and we get inspired doing what we love to do, which is taking images, creating images, taking photographs, and we never know, we might be creating our new award-winning photograph. Number 2, shoot normal things differently. Shooting normal things differently. Wow. Um, Normal things, shall I say, or normal angles, usually is the perspective of a person on eye level. That's one suggestion I can, that's one example that I can think of. Shooting a subject on an eye level. So we know two different angles, which is the bird's eye view, which is on top view looking down, and the worm's eye view from bottom looking up. So those are two different examples of shooting something different from a normal shot. We can also practice reflection. We can either reflect something on the water, reflect something in a mirror, reflect something on a reflective surface. Or it can be like a car, or it can be like a puddle of water. We can try to shoot normal things differently. In that way, we can try to be more creative in such a way that looking and observing locations and trying to capture things differently, the way a normal person would do. We should take risks of trying to, especially when we are doing it by ourselves, there's no that much of risk involved. But if we try to like practice it, then we can get comfortable. Then we can maybe suggest it on a different job, on another job. We can pitch it. We can try to pitch it to our clients rather than shooting things that you normally do. And by doing so, we can add more value in the shot or add more value in the project that we are doing instead of shooting things very normal. That's number two. Shoot normal things differently. So, guys, if you just tune in, we are talking about 5 ways how to get inspired in photography this 2019. And, guys, I am trying to build. This is episode 2. So, I am trying to build 100 blogs for you guys this year. And we will try to do it either daily or every other day or like the same MWF. We will see if we can do that. So, number 3, and I am doing it live. Just for the convenience. Number 3, try to browse others' work. Trying to browse others' work, looking for inspiration from others. Try to browse work of people who inspires us. Because there are 2 types of looking. Looking to get frustrated and looking to get inspired. I am not sure whether or not you can relate to this. I think Mr. VJ can relate to this because sometimes we look at someone's job, we get frustrated. If we look at someone else's job, we get inspired. So instead of looking to those work or people or different photographers, hello Brian, man. Happy New Year. So instead of concentrating to those photographers or work or people or artwork that frustrates us, try to look at things that inspires us instead. Let's avoid those things that we frustrate. Or better yet, if we cannot change the things that we look at, try to change within. Try to change our reaction when we look at things. Instead of being frustrated, why not try to be inspired from it? Try to get what we can take positively and try to reject or deflect those things that are unneeded or unwanted or extra baggages. Just like what Bruce Lee says, take what is useful and remove what is not, useful, perhaps. So that's number 3. Browse others' work to get inspired in photography this 2019. Oh dear, oh dear. Number 4. It's gonna be quick, man. We're number 4 already. So, number 4, learn a new skill. Okay, learning a new skills. There is a lot of different skills that we can touch on. There's light painting. There is, shall I say, shooting in available light. Well, that's very basic, but in a different way, shall I say, like using reflections, using a mirror, instead of using lights, we can be more using strobes, perhaps we can be more purist, like just available light. If the subject and the location could not be reached by natural light, by direct light, try to reflect it using a mirror coming from a different source, coming from a window light that is not relative or not parallel or not direct pointing to the subject. Try something like that for some time, or try to like do light painting. you know if you're oh I will share a link with you guys in the description. I will share you a link from a photographer. I can't remember his name, but he used a reflector, not a reflector, but mirror. This is back in the early 90s. He used a mirror to light his subject. He did not use just a reflector, but a mirror coming from a different light source. So trying something new. Try a new skill. That's number 4. Number 5, it doesn't have to be expensive. Try to get new equipment. It can be as simple as a polarizer. It can be as simple as an ND filter, or uh, a strobe, perhaps, or some sort of a projector, ring light, something that is affordable, or something that you can afford, especially just if you haven't gifted yourself, try to buy yourself an investment that you can use in your photography. Because this, when you get when you get an equipment that you are really confident of a return of an investment, try to invest on that. I'm sure a better lens, a better body, a a better light setup, things that can return investment in your job, because our line of expertise, or our career, it really costs a lot equipment wise. So we have to be smart on purchasing equipment. We have to be smart on doing so, because if not, we would not be able to forward or um, progress in our chosen. It is a list of, yes, it is. But then we need to be really smart about it. I'm sure you know that, Mr. VJ, because if we invest on something that is worth buying, it will last for a very long time. That it's meaning to say we don't need to replace it for some time. So a wise investment is something that we can use for a very long time. So I know it is an endless investment, but then again, it is an endless return of investment also. We need to be thinking like that at the same time. Anyways, wow, guys, have a blessed 2019. Thank you for tuning in. I will do the best that I can to share you guys my knowledge with this 15 years of experience. Please let me know if you may have any other additional ways how you would get inspired this 2019. Share us your thoughts. Like the page, like the vlog, like this video, and please let us know if you may have any questions. We will answer them as best as the best as we can. We will answer your question, um, because I love answering good questions and even stupid questions if I may have time for that. But then again, I really enjoy talking to you guys, and wow, it's already 3 a.m. almost 5 minutes to 3 a.m. And thank you very much for sharing your time with me. And God bless. And see you in the next vlog. Cheers.